Welcome back. On this President's Day, we have Stillwater's Chief Executive with us, Mayor Joyce. Mayor, welcome to Daily O.
Thanks for having me.
Here to talk about the 2020 census. What's City Council banking on this year for it?
Well, we're pushing hard to make sure everyone's aware that the census is happening, especially students here at Oklahoma State. We want to make sure that everyone gets counted and we get a complete count of our city and of Payne County.
What does that mean economically for us to get that complete count?
You know, it makes a lot of difference. For every person counted in the census, there's probably about a $1,500 to $1,800 worth of funding from state and federal revenue sources that makes its way here to Stillwater. So we want to make sure we get all of those dollars back. That's our tax money that's coming back here to Stillwater.
I talked to Sherry Fletcher up at City Hall, and she told us that you guys had money from FEMA after the floods last year because of the census that we had. You know, we got more of that because of the complete count. Talk about what kind of an impact that had and what we had to deal with there.
Sure, absolutely. Also, all of that sort of federal funding sources, if it's FEMA disaster funding or Department of Transportation funding for roads, all of that sort of hinges on census counts and population counts. And so we want to make sure, you know, all of those folks here in Stillwater are using those services and using those roads. So we want to make sure that the population counts are accurate so that when we are eligible for funding from federal sources like FEMA, they have accurate counts of our population so that we get the money that we have coming to us.
And if we're undercounted, money goes elsewhere.
Yes, it does. It goes to whichever community counted better than we did.
Yeah.
So communities outside the state, in other states or other places around Oklahoma, that money is being spent other places. And so we want to make sure that, again, it's an adequate count so that we get what we should.
College students, of course, they live in Stillwater during the academic year, but probably move away, you know, most of them don't live here most of the time. Can they fill out the census as Stillwater residents?
Absolutely should, yes. In fact, under census regulations, college students are to be counted at their college place where they live during college. So OSU students who live here in Stillwater during the academic year, Census Day is April 1st, 2020. So if you're here in Stillwater and living in Stillwater on April 1st, you should be counted here in Stillwater.
And that won't affect anything like their voting, their citizenship?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't have any effect on any of those other issues. I've talked to students who are worried about their parents' income tax returns or their residency for school purposes or anything like that. This is really just a count of where people are in our community on that census day. And since those students are here, living here, sleeping here, on April 1st of 2020, then they are to be counted here according to the census.
So how can we expect to fill it out this year? Is it online? Is it on paper?
It is. So it's going to be online. You can also do it by paper or by phone. There's other options, but primarily everyone at their address will receive a card in the mail starting here around mid-March, and it will give you an online code that you can go online, you enter that code to match up your address, and then you fill out your census form online.
Can you fill it when you get it in March? Let's say you get it March 30th. Can you fill it out that day, or do you have to wait until April 1st?
Nope, absolutely. You can fill it out as soon as you get it.
Okay.
As soon as you see that card come in the mail, you should log on or call by phone if you need to. If you don't have access to the internet or to a phone, you can always do it by mail as well. And the public library here in Stillwater will have resources available for people who need help filling out those forms.
And for those of you who don't know, the public library is located on the southwest side of town, I guess,
Yeah.
southeast side of town, over by 12th and Main.
12th and Duck.
12th and Duck,
Yeah,
yes.
12th and Duck.
Yeah. This may have ended, but I remember there was a campaign to get college students out there, possibly some part-time employment for the census. Is that still?
No, plenty of census
on the
jobs
table?
still available. Yeah, so you can go to census.gov/jobs, and yeah, they are still hiring census takers. Because really what happens here is that we try to get everybody to respond online, but then after the 1st of April, for folks who haven't responded, census takers will go physically out to some of those addresses to check, and those jobs, there are still plenty of those available.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Anything else you'd like to say?
We'd appreciate it if students especially be on the lookout for those census forms, and just remember that you're here in Stillwater, you're using services here in Stillwater, you should be counted here in Stillwater.
All right. Ready for some games at O Brodie Stadium?
Absolutely. Looking
right.
forward to baseball.
Mayor, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Brodie.
We'll be right back.